My name is Þorvaldur Sigurbjörn Helgason. I'm a writer and an academic coordinator at the Iceland University of the Arts, and I live in Reykjavik. I've always been writing to some extent. Like I wrote stories and poems when I was a kid. Got my mom to write down my first story when I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, something like that. I wrote my first poetry manuscript while I was still a student, and that was published in 2016. My first book of poetry was a short chapbook that was called Dreams on a Clothesline, or Draumar þvottasnúru in Icelandic. And yeah, since then I've published 2 other full-length poetry books. I mean, I always wanted to be a writer when I was a kid. After I finished my undergrad studies, I went for a master's program in creative writing at the University of Iceland, and I guess that's sort of where I started to write more professionally. I tend to work in periods, so there's times in which I don't have a lot of mental space to write, and then there's other periods where I plunge into a project. But my ideal routine is that, and which one that I tried to follow when I was in the residency in Slovakia, is just to wake up, you know, as usual, like between 7 and 8, and start the day by having a cup of coffee. And I also really like to start the day by reading a little bit, you know, maybe some non-fiction or an article or the news, and then I guess start writing around 10 o'clock and you know, just do some focused work until noon, and then take a break for lunch and start again after afternoon and do a couple more hours. But you have to really be just flexible as a writer here in Iceland. You have to. Most of us do some kind of labor or a side job to make ends meet, and you know, you really just need to find those hours in the day where you can write. I applied for the Epic Residency program because I had an idea for a novel that I'd been wanting to write for a long time, and I hadn't really found the space to work on it. Also because I'd never been to Slovakia before, and I was interested in coming there. I was in the residency in Košiciach in June 2023. The stay in Košiciach was really nice. It was, I think I found sort of the perfect balance between work and leisure. It's a very relaxing city, but one that still has a lot going on. Most of all, I just thought the atmosphere of the city was very good for writing. Like for me, it's very important to be like somewhere where I can feel that there is culture. Like I'm not the kind of writer who wants to go to a cabin in the woods for 2 months and not meet anyone. Like I enjoy going out to cafes and even going out to write amongst people. It gave me a lot of opportunity to just think and be, which is really important for a writer. Just to be able to be alone with your thoughts and sort of hear your brain ticking. I think for us Icelanders it's like a hidden gem, because there's not very many Icelandic people that go there, but I think it's like this residency has definitely been like opened my eyes to this part of Europe, and I'm sure that has been the same for other writers who've been there. So I would definitely recommend it. It's a great place to work and to visit.